Do you think that Jesus Christ would want ICE to raid churches and hospitals and schools? Do you think that he would support children being separated from their families? Do you think that he would turn asylum seekers away at the border? Because if you think that any of this is somehow godly, I urge you to listen to the countless verses that tell us to accept the foreigner, to not mistreat the oppressed, and to love thy neighbor, because that is our greatest commandment.
It sounds so good on the surface, right? Don't turn away asylum seekers and don't split up families. The problem is that she's pulling all of these ideas out of context. The scriptures talk very clearly about nations having boundaries and borders, and about obeying the law and submitting yourself to the authorities that God has put in place. There's a legal way to come to this country. And in fact, people who do come here from other countries legally really don't like when people come here illegally. It's not about not being compassionate to the foreigner. It's about having a nation of laws that actually protects foreigners who come here and assimilate into the American way of life by keeping them safe from those who come here illegally and do bad things.
So you're telling this committee that the Biden administration, while they were letting all of these unaccompanied minors into the country, and as we've talked about today, they weren't keeping track of them, they issued these kids a hotline that they could call if they had trouble with the sponsor family that they were put with. And you're saying that 65,000 calls to this hotline designated to protect these kids went unanswered? Is that what you're telling this committee?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do you know how many staffers the administration assigned to answering these phones and helping these kids? One staffer? Any idea how many hours a day this staffer was working?
No.
Maybe that's why there were 65,000 calls that weren't answered from these little kids, huh? Unbelievable.
I'm not sure why Governor Pritzker and Brandon Johnson keep having these press conferences. Like, at the end of the day, the troops got to come, okay? It's no law and order. Y'all don't care. People calling the police on the south side and the west side. The police are understaffed. Sometimes they take 40 minutes to an hour. Sometimes they don't even come, okay? Y'all don't care. The violent disruptors, that doesn't make any sense. Y'all stole $158 million in crime prevention. Y'all not getting no more money from this federal government at all. We need forensic audits. We need to see where all our tax dollars going. And then let me explain one more thing to you, Governor Pritzker and Brandon Johnson. You work for us, okay? You work for us. Mr. Billionaire Pritzker, you work for us. You're a public servant. The city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, does not want this sanctuary city anymore. We don't want this to be a sanctuary state. We want our money to go to our residents. We don't want it to go to anybody else but us. No illegals. Y'all don't have no housing for us. I'm unhoused right now. When y'all gonna settle my case? When y'all gonna settle my case? Since y'all always talk about affordable housing, y'all not getting anything. President Trump, bring everybody, the IRS criminal division, DOJ, the feds, every ATF, the UFO, whatever you need to bring to make this city safe and to remove all these illegals out of our city. Okay? We are under attack. They have to go.
I would like to discuss something that my family has been dealing with for the last 2 weeks. My stepmother, Kathleen Miles, was brutally attacked downtown Chicago in the Loop at 5:15 approximately p.m. On August 19th. Our world's changed. She was walking along the side of a colleague, like she's done for the past 20 years that she's worked downtown. And unfortunately, she was brutally attacked by a man named William Livingston. He has done this several times, including a 15-year-old female. He has done little to no jail time. And it's countless charges, and this man just continues to be let out. So as she was walking alongside her colleague was shoved out of the way. She was punched brutally to the face, knocking her to the ground. Her head hit the cement. She was bleeding out on the cement. He stood over her and watched her until he was arrested. People surrounding her were afraid to approach due to what he might do to them, which is completely understandable. Finally, once he was detained, there was a gentleman who came and wrapped his shirt around her head and stayed with her until she received care. That gentleman happens to be a Democratic senator for Illinois, and we are just now receiving media attention on this. She has a broken skull, a fractured orbital bone, her face is shattered, and we are emotionally drained. My family and I feel as though the state of Illinois has completely failed us. They've not only failed us as a family, they failed the families of the other victims, the citizens of the state. This has to stop. It doesn't matter until it happens to you. You can have any political standpoint that you would like. No one deserves this treatment. She's being swept aside. We are just now getting media attention.
It's not just the National Guard. Multiple sources telling Fox News that ICE agents are set to move into Chicago for an immigration crackdown. Now, that city's Democratic leaders are expected to resist, but many locals, like our next guest, say it is a long time coming. But Sean Tunsil will join us in a moment, talk about the residents' sentiments in a moment there in Chicago. But first, to senior correspondent Mike Tobin, who's got a beat on this every day in Chicago. Mike.
And, Bill, we know that some federal staff is already at the Great Lakes Naval Base north of Chicago, and Illinois Senators Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin are demanding that the Secretary of the Navy provide them with some information for how that base is going to be used. And then a meeting of North suburban leaders was told that some 300 federal agents are expected in Chicagoland. Now, the mayor of Broadview, a suburb to the west of Chicago, issued a letter stating that a building there will be used as primary processing facility for operations, which could last for 45 days. And law enforcement should be ready for protests, even destruction of property. Tomhoman, border czar under President Trump, argues that sanctuary policies pushed by Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker forced them to zero in on places like Chicago.
We're going to flood the zone. Sanctuary cities, I've said it 1,000 times, they're going to get exactly what they don't want: more agents in the communities and more worksite enforcement. If they won't let us arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a county jail, so more collateral arrests are going to occur in sanctuary cities because you forced us into the community.
Chicago saw over 51,000 migrants arrive since the summer of 2022. The watchdog group Illinois Public Policy estimates the state will spend over $2.5 billion on migrants by the end of 2025. Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez, a Democrat, says Illinois leaders with sentiments for the migrant community are not sincere.
If we had addressed this by amending the Welcoming City Ordinance several months ago, we would not be in this position today, in my opinion. If we had shown a willingness to work with Donald Trump, Tomhoman, and Kristi Noem to say, look, we know you know where the high priority targets are. Let us help you when we arrest them. We'll let you know. I think we'd be in a very different spot than where we find ourselves today.
Now, September is a month when Mexican Independence Day is recognized with a series of parades through Hispanic areas. Now, the town of Waukegan has postponed their parade, but the Pilsen neighborhood to the south of where I am is continuing with their parade. However, they've got spotters in the crowd who will be equipped with cell phones, radios, even whistles to alert people of any developments. Bill?
You are an immigrant. You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing, when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was impressed by the American people like that. I mean, imagine they came over here with the age of 21 with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Yeah. Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and this is the land of opportunity. And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do, on July 4th, a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon, where George Washington was laid to rest, and where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech there. They asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great, great celebration. And this is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do, rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. You have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
What President Trump is doing is unprecedented and unwarranted. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. It is un-American. In the Oval Office, Donald Trump looked at the assembled cameras and asked for me personally to say, "Mr. President, can you do us the honor of protecting our city?" Instead, I say, "Mr. President, do not come to Chicago."
So this is what we are going through in Chicago, and for the governor and the Democrats, Brandon Johnson, to have a problem with President Trump coming in and want to make our streets safer, it's disgusting. These people are evil, and like President Trump said, they are incompetent.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.